Everything is Crab is a roguelite where you play as a creature that evolves by eating other animals. The hook is simple. Every run you start small and weak, kill things to get meat, and use that progress to pick new body parts, and abilities that change both how you look and how you play. The game's whole joke is that everything in nature supposedly evolves toward becoming a crab, but you are trying to avoid that fate by making your own weird evolutionary choices. You begin each run as a basic creature, usually something like a blob or small animal. When you kill other creatures and eat the meat, you gain experience and level up. And each time you level up, you can pick from a few evolution options, and these actually give you new body parts, so you can get stuff like jaws for a bite attack, wings to fly over obstacles, tentacles for reach, or a shell for defense. The evolutions stack visually too, so by the end of a run, you can look completely ridiculous with multiple eyes, arms, legs, wings, and whatever else you picked up. The gameplay loop is about hunting smaller creatures while avoiding bigger predators in different biomes. There's a green temperate zone, a desert that damages you with heat, and snowy areas that give you cold damage. The game has a day and night cycle where different creatures come out, and you need to adapt to survive in each environment. Some evolutions help with specific biomes. The combat is actually pretty straightforward, but the variety comes from your evolution build. Your main attack is usually something like biting or pecking, but you can add ranged attacks like spitting poison, special abilities like dashing or body slamming, and passive effects like regeneration or increased speed. The interesting part is deciding whether to focus on offense to kill things faster, defense to survive longer, or mobility to avoid danger and find your food quicker. Boss fights show up at set intervals during each run, and these are of course where your build really gets tested. The bosses seem really well designed so far. Beating these bosses gives you branching evolutions, which are bigger upgrades that unlock entire new evolution paths, like getting your first set of legs or arms. There's an ecosystem element where other creatures aren't just sitting around, waiting for you. You can actually observe them fight each other, evolve on their own, and having their own goals. Sometimes you can just wait for two animals to kill each other, and then basically eat the winner when it's weak. The map also shows points of interest marked with question marks. Those are stuff like healing pools, mud puddles that give resistances, or trees that give you a full level of progress. The meta progression system gives you unlocks between runs. You can unlock new starting creatures called genetics that begin with different traits, challenge scenarios that change the rules, harder difficulty levels, and also more evolution options. The game does also feature an endless mode. Another feature worth mentioning is the Affinity system. The game tracks what types of creatures you eat the most, and this affects what evolution options you see. For example, if you eat a lot of predators, then you will get more predator type evolutions, and the same with prey animals. This pushes you toward a playstyle. The game can be pretty difficult. Your runs can end quickly if you make poor evolution choices, or get caught by a boss you're not ready for. The difficulty here comes from balancing offense, defense, and mobility. The whole evolution system of course means no two runs feel exactly the same, and with over 125 different evolutions, and the way they combine both visually and mechanically, there is a lot of room to experiment. You can absolutely do a run focus on poison and range damage, another as a fast melee creature with regeneration, or try to become a literal tank with multiple shells and high health. So the variety is absolutely the biggest draw here. And this sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.